Okay, let's just get right into it. For years, that whole conversation about AI taking our jobs felt like a problem for, tomorrow, some distant sci-fi thing to worry about later. Well, guess what? Tomorrow is here. The debate isn't about if AI will shake up the job market anymore. It's about figuring out what's happening right now under our feet.
And listen, that's not some hot take from a tech blogger. That is a direct quote from the chief U.S. economist at J.P. Morgan. This isn't a vague warning from the future. It's an observation from one of the biggest financial players in the world, watching a trend unfold in real time. The whole tone of this conversation has shifted from what if to what now.
And what started as hints just a short while ago, that's over. We're way past hints. The data is rolling in, and it's painting a picture that is getting pretty hard to ignore. We've moved from speculation to cold, hard evidence.
And the impact is incredibly specific. I mean, look at this. Since the start of 2025, unemployment for young people, we're talking 20 to 30-year-olds, in jobs exposed to tech has shot up by nearly 3%. Compare that to their friends in other fields. That is a massive spike. This isn't a general economic downturn. It's a targeted shock, hitting the newest members of the workforce right where it hurts the most.
And hey, this isn't just a problem for people trying to get their first job. Look at the timeline here. For years, industries like cloud computing and web search were on a rocket ship of steady, reliable growth. Then boom, the end of 2022, right after ChatGPT was unleashed on the public, that growth just hits a wall. It flatlines. This suggests something fundamental is changing, not just in hiring, but in the very engine room of the tech economy.
Okay, so that brings us to the big question, right? If the impact is this specific, who exactly is most at risk? Let's get into it and break down the jobs that are right on the front lines of this whole AI wave.
This chart from the World Economic Forum is, well, it's pretty brutal. The roles that are projected to shrink the fastest aren't from some bygone industrial era. We're talking data entry clerks, executive secretaries, accountants, even legal secretaries. These jobs are the absolute backbone of the modern office, and they are at the top of the list.
And just look at how wide this net is cast. It cuts right across different sectors: legal, finance, creative, even tech itself. We're talking about legal assistants, accountants, programmers, and graphic designers, roles that you, your friends, or your family might be in right now. For a long time, these were seen as stable, solid career paths. That idea is changing, and it's changing fast.
So what gives? For decades, the playbook was simple. You protect yourself from automation by getting a college degree and moving into a knowledge job. That worked great when automation meant a robot arm on an assembly line. But this time around, that defense is just not holding up.
It all comes down to this idea called reverse skill bias. And it's a total flip of the script. Think about it. Past automation went after repetitive, physical tasks. This new wave of AI, it targets repetitive, cognitive tasks. The very skills that a college degree is supposed to give you, writing, research, analysis, even coding, are precisely the language-based jobs that these new AI models are getting scary good at.
And the sheer scale of this exposure is just kind of mind-blowing. 40%. According to a recent report from the International Monetary Fund, almost 40% of all global employment is exposed to AI. That's a staggering number. Just let that sink in. It's a fundamental shift in how the whole world works.
And when you zoom in on advanced economies, like the US and the UK, the picture gets even sharper. Here, it's about 60% of all jobs that are exposed. And that's split almost down the middle. About half might actually be complemented by AI, meaning people could get more productive. But the other half, a full third of all jobs, are in roles that are highly vulnerable to just being replaced.
So this is the crucial point. The threat model has completely changed. Back in the 80s and 90s, the boogeyman was a robot on a factory floor replacing physical work. Today, the threat is an algorithm humming away on a server somewhere, automating the exact cognitive tasks that have defined white-collar work for a generation. This is why it feels so different.
Now, this doesn't mean it's game over for jobs, but it does mean we are entering a period of massive and, let's be honest, probably pretty painful change. It's not a simple one-for-one replacement. It's a total reconfiguration of the labor market. So, where are the new jobs actually being created?
You really don't even need me to explain this one. Just look at these two lists side by side. On the left, you've got the roles we've been talking about, the admin assistants, the accountants. On the right, you've got the fastest growing jobs. That massive gap you see between them, that tells the entire story. The skill sets required are from two different planets.
And the roles with the highest growth are hyper-specialized. We're talking about AI and machine learning specialists, big data gurus, fintech engineers, information security analysts. These aren't jobs you can just pivot into with a weekend course. They require some seriously deep technical expertise.
And that really is the heart of the problem. This isn't about a net loss of jobs, not yet anyway. It's about a massive skills mismatch. An accountant who loses their job to an AI can't just wake up the next day and become a renewable energy engineer. The path from the jobs that are disappearing to the ones that are growing is not clear, and it is definitely not easy.
So if AI is taking over more and more of the technical, cognitive tasks, what's left for us? This leads us to the final, and maybe the most important, part of this story. Figuring out what skills remain uniquely human.
So the optimistic theory is called augmentation. The idea is pretty simple. AI takes over the repetitive, analytical parts of a job. This frees up the human worker to focus on the higher-level tasks that AI still totally struggles with, things like big-picture strategy, creativity, and really complex problem-solving.
And these are those skills. They're all rooted in what makes us, well, human. Empathy, resolving messy conflicts between people, genuine creativity and design thinking, making judgment calls based on nuance and context, leadership and coaching. These are the abilities that, for now, machines just can't replicate. They are the new premium skills in the age of AI.
So we'll leave you with this thought to chew on. We're stepping into a world that is just overflowing with artificial answers, where an AI can generate text and code and data in a blink. In a world like that, the ultimate value might not come from having the answer, but from having the curiosity, the creativity, and the critical judgment to ask the right question in the first place.